Everybody, chat with nobody else's auto. 7:30 Sunday evening time. Some Sunday Night Live chat. Got a great crowd on here and ready to go. Let's see. Bert's here. Nut Farm's here. Pete's here. JP. Big Job. Dad's on. Austin. Glad you guys all made it back. I'm trying something different on Facebook tonight. We'll see if it works. I did set Facebook up again tonight. And I did it a little bit differently. I had a few minutes, so I tried to play with the setup and went into a different screen. So we'll see if anybody joins us on Facebook tonight and what happens over there, or if the sound works. That's always been a big question over there, whether we had any sound the last few weeks. So hopefully we've got some people on Facebook to let us know what's going on over there. As always, we are live on both formats, both YouTube right here in front of me, Facebook right off the side as you see me glancing back and forth between the different comments. And sometimes, even if we haven't had sound on Facebook the last few weeks, we've had some people who watched on YouTube and commented on Facebook. So we'll go ahead and leave that up just in case. Charles made it tonight. And as always, before we get too deep into things tonight, no sound again. Okay. That answers that question. I thought maybe going in a different angle, maybe we would have sound, but apparently not. So, Alex here. Bill Disk made it. David W. Lots of familiar faces jumping back on. I'm not sure what's going on over here on Facebook, but we'll find out. Tractor Mike made it tonight. And as always, before we get too deep into things, a little bit of housekeeping. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on autocorrect. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. I try to catch most comments. I do miss some, especially for as busy as we've been getting, but I do try to catch most of them. But make sure I can understand your comment before you send it. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I can't see any of those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page, but that page probably doesn't have any sound either, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Trolls, we do occasionally get some trolls on here. You guys do a great job of making sure they know they are not welcome. Super chats are great, and we are also dealing with ads sometimes. So we have to put up with that. That's a YouTube deal. We can't control it. Dennis is here. Briggs Garage, Loader Mike, Waycamp, Mark's on. Frank's here. Scott made it tonight. Scott Luff jumped over from Facebook since there was no sound again. So I hope I caught everybody. There are a few cookies left. I didn't burn through all of them yet, but I have put a pretty good dent in them. So they're so big that you can't eat too many of them at once. Pappy's here. Mark is ready to go. Good point, Mark. There we go. Jeff from Ottawa. Tony's on. Let me throw a note up here on Facebook real quick so that everybody is aware. Okay, I'll put a note up there that I'm going to leave it up in case anybody wants to comment on there. Okay, let's see where we are at over here. Okay. Beaumont resident, worst thing I ever found in a car? I don't really know. Never really found anything too terribly bad. Just there's usually a lot of junk or trash in some of them. But actually not anything really, old food and stuff like that, but nothing really terrible, really. Neil's on. How about an Auburn badge, too, while we're at it? So anyway, moving on into the chat. Last week we did have a ton of fun with Pete here in studio. Got his flatbed pulled off last Monday morning and got him on the way home. So, but always fun having some of you guys stop by. Great having Pete come in on Sunday to hang out with us. Jason's here with us. And it was a ton of fun. So, always enjoy that. when you guys can make that work. Yeah, Austin said the auction was great. Yeah, because he smoked Pete on a killer can. So, yeah, Pete was in studio with us last week. And that's right. Good point, Jim. Pete did put a video up after he got home of what he drug back with him. So you guys can be sure to check that out. Which brings me to another point. More great stuff on the No Buddies Facebook page. Rusty Okie had some killer stuff on there this week. Jeff had a bunch of super sweet vans that he posted pictures of. And I don't remember everything, guys. Like I said, I do try to at least try to check it once a day just to see what you guys are posting. Just because I'm not commenting doesn't mean I'm not checking it out and enjoying it. So it is pretty cool. There again, the Nobodies on Facebook. I don't manage that page. Rusty Okie and Whiskey Business do that for us. But there's some great stuff on there. If you're not on there, be sure to jump on there, answer the questions. They will get you in the group. David's here with us. But it's the participation, the camaraderie, all that stuff on there has been awesome, guys. It just proves what a great group that we've got here, and the respect and the friendship and the camaraderie that we continue to build in this group. So it's awesome. And just like we talked about last week, all you guys are up for doing another gathering in the Nobodies next spring. So we need to get to work on that. But that's all because of your guys' help, support. Pete helps us out a ton. Him and Kevin L as moderators on here. Rico and Jess helped me set up. This stuff doesn't happen without a lot of the help and support of you guys. So Devin's here going back and forth grilling and watching an auction. Not a bad plan. Awesome. Bert made his hubcap his profile pic. Nice. Manuel hanging out with us from Mexico. So anyway, that's just so awesome what's going on with that page and everything that you guys are doing and how this is all clicking, coming together, working on the next gathering of the Nobodies, the second annual, and just exciting about where things are going and what you guys are doing to make this all happen. So Mark dried up all night just all week just for tonight. Boom. Let's throw that up there again. Let's keep you going. Anyway, what else was going on this week? Obviously, Labor Day weekend. Kenny's here tonight with us. I already got ads popping up. Yeah, guys, there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. It just happens. We just got to kind of work around it. I appreciate you guys letting me know when it happens. But we got an exciting night tonight, so it's going to be worth it. We're going to give away these red lines. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on tonight. So, but what happened this week? Obviously, Labor Day weekend, the big Auburn weekend in Auburn, Indiana. Pete had a 20-second ad. Yeah, those aren't going to be fun. But, and like I said, sometimes it gives me notice. Sometimes there's a little button that pops up over here and allows me to skip them, but I haven't seen anything as of yet. So, and you guys might want to occasionally refresh as we go along here to make sure that you are up to speed with the live portion of the chat. Rusty Okie made it. We were just talking about you. Great stories, great stuff on the Nobodies page this weekend from Rusty Okie. Oh, and by the way, Rusty Okie, I'm just going to give you a heads up. Ranch Wagon video is ready to drop tomorrow night. And that thing came out even better than I thought. I know you just got another truck, but the Ranch Wagon video is going to drop tomorrow night. But anyway, like we just talked about the Nobodies Facebook page, Rusty Okie does help run that with Zach Whiskey Business. So if you're not on there, get on there, be part of it, check this stuff out. The Nobodies on Facebook, they do have a couple of questions in there. Burn through the questions. Rusty Okie will get you into the group, and there's a lot of cool stuff on there. But obviously the Auburn weekend, Auburn, Indiana, Labor Day weekend, the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Festival, Worldwide Auctioneers, Swap Meet, Car Corral, all kinds of stuff going on. Obviously, our good friend Phil Skinner in charge of memorabilia for Worldwide. Have not talked to him this weekend. Obviously, he's been busy. However, our good friend Jim Wicks was there. So Jim did call me a little while ago. He is on, actually, he's probably just about back home now. Boom, look at that, slid right that in there. Slid in there, didn't even see it coming. On his way back from Auburn, he tries to catch as much of that as he can. Sounds good, Kim. We'll be watching for Alan and jump on here in a bit. But so Jim said his prices at the auction were a little better than he thought. He said things are hanging in there. We keep thinking we see a dip, and in the next auction, things will bump back up a little bit. So it'll be curious to see how the rest of the year shakes out in the auction world. Obviously, several more coming up. 4 more Meekums, Dallas, Indy, Vegas, and then Kansas City, which we will be at. If you guys want to catch Kansas City, we do plan on being there. Me, Dad, Tractor Mike, and there's usually a whole couple truckloads of knuckleheads that head up there. So that's always a great time. And then, of course, our auction, FND Collector Auto Auction here coming up in about a month. Starting to get some vehicles on the website for that. I've got several more to go list this week, so you're going to want to stay up to date with that also. And just lots of stuff going on. Wick said he did have a good weekend. He bought 5 or 6 cars this weekend at Worldwide for his clients. He did get another split window Corvette, which obviously those cars have just been crazy on numbers, and they just keep going up. I don't know where the end is going to be for split windows, but they don't seem to be softening up at all. And actually, I've sat in a few of them, and they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. You can't see anything out of them. That split window completely blocks your view. Your rear view mirror is blocked. You look over your shoulder, it's blocked. I mean, there's a reason they only made them for 1 year, because they are terrible. But they're cool looking, and people love them. So I guess that's what happens sometimes. He said he's going to have to start speaking German. He bought a Mercedes in Monterey. He bought some Porsches in Monterey. He bought some Porsches this weekend. Yep, that's how much Jim gets around. Literally a couple weeks ago, Monterey, California. This week, Auburn, Indiana, which Auburn, Indiana is over 2 hours east of Indy. So it's way east. And then he will be in Dallas next week. Dallas Meekum is next week, Jason. I mean, literally, I think Jim said he leaves Tuesday because, for Dallas Meekum. So, yeah, Dallas Meekum is literally next weekend. Starts Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So, yeah, wait till you see this wagon, Rusty Okie. This thing, like I said, I thought it was a pretty good car, but it's better than that. Doug and Jill Prey on with us. They are on the way home from ACD. So glad Doug and Jill are with us on Facebook. I hope maybe they've got sound. I don't know. The sound issue on Facebook has been not good. So, but Doug and Jill Prey checking in on their way back from Auburn. Obviously, Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company, the place to go for restorations, repairs, and parts. So, obviously, the ACD Festival, a big, important part of what they do, and a very big, important part of that community. The Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company, our good friends Doug and Jill Prey, as well as their son Adam, who is now running the company, running the shop. So glad they had a second to jump on with us tonight as well. That's awesome. So anyway, let's see. Bert's ready to go again. Here we go. Mary's here with us. Loader Mike. Yeah, you probably don't fit in vests very well. And, of course, a few more ads. So, anyhow, sounds like it was an exciting weekend in Auburn. One of these days, I keep saying I'm going to make it. Doug was last year. Doug's like, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And I couldn't put the pieces of the puzzle together. And, Doug's been telling me ever since I've met him, you've got to go. And I just haven't been able to put the pieces together yet. But one of these days, I'm going to check it out. It looks pretty amazing. There's stuff on the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company's media on Facebook. So there's been some cool stuff out there. Ryan and Amy are here. Glad you made it back. Been on the early shift. We're glad you caught us tonight. But that's what's coming up then as well, is with Dallas Meekum next weekend. And they've also got a killer Auburn at Dallas Meekum next weekend. I need to get an Auburn one of these days. Get me an Auburn or a Cord, Be pretty cool. They're beautiful cars, so throw an Auburn badge up. And that's another fun thing about doing this. Everything I've learned about Auburns and courts from Doug has been amazing. Number one's here, and it's so cool and not only what I've learned, but the knowledge you share with all of you guys. If you guys haven't caught the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company playlist on the channel, you need to check it out. We sit here and we talk about the festival and everything that happened. You can look at the pictures on Facebook. But if you have not seen the videos we've done with Doug Prey and the knowledge that he has shared with us and the things he has taught us and the things he's explained about these cars that, you just don't ever see. So it's pretty crazy. But the fact that Doug takes that time with us and we learn all this stuff, it's awesome. So Greg's here with us. Hope everybody caught the video on Greg's Tempest wagon. That was a lot of fun to do. A lot of great comments on that. If you have not seen the video on Greg's Tempest wagon, he drove it down there to pick up some parts. And it was awesome that we got to do a video on his Tempest wagon, sitting here with the parts cars when he was getting parts. So that was a lot of fun too. Glenn made it. Glad Glenn stopped in tonight. I'm going to go see Glenn this week. I've got some cars to list for the F&E auction up in his area, and I got a box of stuff I need to take to Glenn. I need to pick up some of my junk at Glenn's place. So we'll be bringing some more stuff back from there this coming week. But anyway, what did I pick up this week? I got a few picked up, and I've got a guy that does some hauling for me, and he did some running for me this weekend. Yeah, I do have a Cord Hot Wheel, Bill. We looked at it a couple weeks ago. I do have that. We had it on Toy Tuesday a couple weeks ago. I had the Cord Hot Wheel. So anyway, what came in this week? I had a big old town car come in this week. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that 80s are getting old. But I picked up an 84 Lincoln Town Car. A lot of people would say, why are you keeping that? Well, I think it's 40 years old. It's a pretty complete car. The back window's busted out of it, but it's not crashed up. The front clip looks good. Where are people going to find parts for those if they've got a nice old Lincoln that gets backed into? So I went ahead and grabbed it and definitely hauled it in, and we'll put her out in the row. I also picked up an absolutely killer international pickup. 1956 S110 short bed, turquoise, just a killer little pickup. Almost zero rust, no motor or tranny, but the body on this thing looks absolutely amazing. And super excited to share that one with you. I didn't need to be buying any more cars or trucks, working on this building deal, trying to get it closed. But man, when this thing popped up, it was so cool looking. I had to snag it. So got that one picked up. And then I had the guy that does some hauling for me. I had some stuff on another farmstead that are there wasn't a lot left of them, but it was kind of a bulk deal. And they were all going to iron if I didn't buy them. So they were all going to go to the shredder. And there are still bits and pieces left of them. So I had him pick them up. He can haul 2 at a time. So I got all these in 2 loads. So that made a difference. But I got a 51 Chevy 1.5 or 2 ton of big truck, a 58 Chevy pickup, which there's not much there, but there's still bits and pieces there. It did have one of the 3100 fender badges on it, some things like that. A 50 Chevy Deluxe 4-door. There again, kind of a Raffle 4-door, but it has a fairly straight grill in it and some other parts, as well as a 64 Impala 4-door. And it's just a body. But there again, it's got trim. It's got some interior trim. It's an Impala, so even though it's a 4-door, it's got the trim around the windows that the base cars didn't have. So all that stuff came in this week, so we'll be bringing you some content on that stuff as well, especially the International. I can't wait to share the International with you guys. That thing is such a cool truck. So all that stuff hit the ground this week. Big job, more ads coming. Lots of ads popping up. So the ad situation looks like it's going to be a little tough tonight. We'll see how that works when we get to the auctions, but we'll give you a Hudson badge in the meantime. And remember, we are working up to the raffle drawing here in a little bit. We're giving away all these red lines here in just a little bit. Not quite there yet, but we are getting there. We're going to catch a promo model. We're going to catch some badges and emblems. Story time, I'm going to skip this week. Reason being, the next one I want to do, the next one that's in this file, is going to take a few minutes, and we need to get through the raffle. We need to announce the new raffle, things like that. Hobbins Hot Rods is here, so I want to leave a few extra minutes to make sure we cover all the raffle stuff, and I want to make sure we've got a few extra minutes to do the next story time piece. So we're going to go ahead and get into the promo model, the badges and emblems. Yep, you're in, Mary. As a matter of fact, we had a lot of people jump in this week, so which is good because I spent a small fortune on all these red lines, so I needed a lot of people to jump in this week. But, yep, you're in there. We'll go through all that here very shortly. After we get through the promo model, some badges and emblems, and then we will get to that raffle here shortly in a few minutes. But let's catch the promo model for tonight. Once again, in the box, still in the AMT original box. And there again, it's kind of crazy thinking that the 90s are getting old. Literally, Kansas is 35 years old as an antique. Some states I know are 30. In some states, 94 is an antique. Obviously, Kansas being 35 years means that here in a few short months, a car from 1990 will be officially an antique. So John's here with us. Crazy to think about because I was starting high school in 1990. New York is 25 years. So Hobbins remembers the 90s. Yeah, 1990 will be 35 years old here in a few short months. Matt's here with us. Glenn says hit the like button. Appreciate that. We'll give you an Auburn badge to go with it. All this talk about Auburns, how much we love Auburns, everything we've learned from Doug Prey, the playlist on the channel, and we haven't brought out the big guns yet tonight. Dun, 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 boom. It's the big Auburn badge. Slide that one in. Yep, tell me about it, guys. That's why I brought that up. 1990 will be 35 years ago in a couple of months. All right, we'll put the big guns away. We'll give you guys a break after that one. Let's get back to the promo model. Going back to 1994, 30 years ago. The 1994 Ford Mustang GT Coupe in red. Laser red, as a matter of fact. Obviously, 1994, the first year of this new body style. 1993, the last year of the Fox body. This car was completely new, completely modern for 1994. And kind of set the world on its ear. The Fox body had been around since 1979 through several different variations. By the end of the Fox body run in 1993, the Cobra was back. The Cobra R even in 1993, which those cars have gotten insane. Doug Prey wants to bid on the Auburn 12 badge. Well, I guess you didn't have to sell it to me. Because I love it. It's a beauty. I love it. And thanks to Doug for selling it to me. And I'm very proud of his 98 V6 Mustang. A lot of people are just not going to tell us their age like David. Yep. But this car, obviously, it was a whole different animal. The Fox body went out with a bang with the Cobra and the Cobra Rs. And when this car was introduced, much more rounded off, much more, modernized for the 90s. I believe that's when they went to did they go to a 4.6 in 94? I think it was when they went to the 4.6 even. They dropped the 5.0, went to the 4.6 V8 in the GT such as this. And this was the new for 94 Mustang GT, this one in laser red. This particular promo has a gray interior in it. Still in the box, however, it actually just unstrapped from the box. Still has all the twist ties on it. A little bit of damage to this one, though. The left mirror did get snapped off at some point in this little Mustang's life. Um, 96 went 4.6. Okay. 4.6 and 96. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, guys. I knew it was somewhere right in that window. I just didn't know exactly when. And more ads. So that's what we've got for tonight's promo. The 1994. What do you want? What? Yes. The 1994 Mustang GT Coupe in laser red. Ask Jim Wicks about the 94-95 GTS. Okay, I'll have to check with him about that. So let's wrap this one back up, slide it back in the box. And get on to some badges and emblems for the evening. How about this badge? Oh, look at that. The Freiberger saw it at a press conference. He said it looked like a Celica. All right, let's catch a couple of other badges for tonight. Starting off with going back to the 30s on this Ford side hood badge. This came in a box of emblems. Actually, I bought several Ford badges. I'm not sure what this is off of, but I think it's an early 30s truck, if I remember correctly, on this really killer oval stamped steel Ford badge. It does have a hole here. This actually is supposed to have a stud on the back. This one apparently broke off and twisted the metal out with it when it did it. These are a very ornate badge. As you can tell, this is all stamped in the steel. It actually has a textured finish for a background. The Ford letters all smooth. This particular badge is 5 1/8 by 2 1/8. So just over 5 inches long and just over 2 inches tall. But a very nice looking badge considering they're, again, 90 years old, somewhere in that vicinity. Thought it looked pretty darn good. Be a little big for a keychain. Now, I think this was a hood emblem, I think is where this was on the side of the hood, but I'm not sure. But I don't think it was running board. It wouldn't have held up like this had it been running board. The next badge, we're going to jump up into the 60s to one, maybe even early 70s, but definitely one that I think everybody's going to be pretty familiar with. What about you, Gray Kitty? This one from our friends at Plymouth on the GTX badge. Look at that baby, in your face, big GTX. Late 60s, early 70s, and these were big emblems. On the side of the car, these were a good size badge. They stood out, but typically these were kind of on the quarter panel in front of the wheel, I believe, and they had to be big to see them. To give you an idea on size, almost 9 inches, 8 7/8 long. So this thing is almost 9 inches in length and about 2 1/4 high. This is a pop metal badge, stud mount, still has the studs on it. You see how it's pretty flat, where it mounted flat on the side of the car. This did have kind of a brushed finish. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not. It has a shine to it, but it's not like a super bright chrome shine like our bumper badge is. Look at the chrome on that baby. This is more of a brushed type finish. So, good looking piece. The edges were blacked out with a brush type finish on the front on the GTX badge. I'm sure I probably will see some of these when I go to Dennis's this week. Briggs is already trying to buy. Now, this is the only one of these I got. I just got it recently, actually. I was kind of excited about it. So that's what we've got for badges and emblems tonight. The 30s era Ford round oval and the Plymouth GTX. Had to be big. They see them. They were too fast. Fit nice between the door and the wheel opening. Yep. Nope, don't have any Chevy emblems tonight. We got a Ford and a Plymouth. We'll get a Chevy worked in here soon. But guess what time it is? Anybody want to win some stuff? Anybody want some free Hot Wheels? How about we give these things away? Who's ready? Let me grab the raffle can. All right, who's in here? This week, who got in? Northwest Media from the Lewis and Clark Bridge on the Columbia River. Wow, you're way up northwest. This week, who got into the raffle? More ads. This is just from this week. If you got in the raffle earlier, I'm not going to read it. This is just this week. Kevin Brown, Charles Wickham, Tony Napoli, Zach Thompson, Tony Napoli, got a few more. James Cody, Bert Allen, Mary Guthrie, and Austin McCoy. Those are the names that I got this week that are in the big Buick oil can ready for tonight's raffle. I seen some pictures of that, John. I don't know if you put it on Facebook or if that was somebody else, but I did see that using the Chevy pickup grill for Hot Wheels storage. So anyway, all those guys are in there. Lots of familiar names in the can, ready to go for tonight. Oh, you saw it on Facebook too? Okay, that's it. So, are we ready to give these things away and announce the new raffle? First off, hold on. I ran over my shoestring again. That ain't working out too good. Okay. First off, gather all these up. The first name out of the big Buick oil can. Turbo Fire. Original paint. These are all original paint. Twin Mill. And Splitting Image, a beautiful blue Splitting Image. And Splitting Image does come with its original button. let's give these away. Are we ready? Okay, I think I'm down to one name. Let's see what we got here. Bill Disc. Bill Disc, one of our local Hot Wheels freaks. It can't be rigged because I wasn't looking in there. You guys just saw all the names. So we're going to sit these off to the side for Bill. In fact, I think I'm just going to move them over here so they're out of the way. Yes, great kitty. Over here, chunky butt. Okay. We ready to yank another name out? This one is going to get Diora in gold. As well as Silhouette in kind of a lime green. Let's say I got another name. Bill is out. Bill Disc can't win again. Yeah, there's still some pretty good ones left, David, so that's for sure. Let's dig deep in here. Ads. Kenny says we got an ad. I'm working my way down to one name here. Okay, I think we're down to one, as long as it ain't Bill. James Cody, Dirty. Dirty got pretty serious about this raffle, so that doesn't surprise me. But two great pieces. I'm putting these over on the other desk in a box because they roll too easy. So, meow, 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 meow. Yes, you guys are noisy. We're busy over here. That don't seem to bother you a bit, does it? All right. And the last pair. Another twin mill. Twin engine, twin mill. These are actually a really great looking Hot Wheel. Got a piece of gray kitty fuzz on it. As well as a Mantis. This is another great looking one. However, this one does not have the windows in it anymore. Good color, good paint, but no windows. So on the last pair of red lines, Bill Disc is out and James Cody is out. Ron remembers. Kevin Brown. All right. Meow. Meow. You guys are annoying. Okay. That takes care of those. What about the next raffle? Well, what we've been doing on the next raffle is to kick it off. What do we do on the last name out of the big Buick oil can? We kick it off with 10 free entries into next month's raffle. So who gets 10 entries into the next month's raffle? Then we're going to show you what it is. Anybody on here like porcelain? Anybody like porcelain? Who's kicking off the next month's raffle with 10 free entries? No, it's not a porcelain toilet. Dennis Chapman. Ten entries into the next raffle for Dennis. And then you know what that means to everybody else in the big Buick oil can. Yep, time to empty it out. Ready for a fresh start, other than a little bit of gray kitty fur. So what is it? We're all excited, right? Let me go grab it. What? Are we going to raffle you off? Are you the raffle prize? You don't look like porcelain. You look furry. You look too furry to be the raffle prize because I told them it was porcelain, goofball. Yes, are you the raffle prize? All right. Sitting on the edge of the chair. No, it's not a porcelain doll. That's right, Pappy. Let's get a drum roll. In fact, Pappy is actually the first one in because I got Pappy's check and he said to hold it for the September raffle. Is that correct, Pappy? So I kept it for the September raffle. So you will be we'll put Dennis in and then you're going in first ones. Okay, perfect. Well, you tell me if it was worth waiting for, Pappy, because this month we're going to give away an 80-plus-year-old from the year 1941 original Texaco Fire Chief pump plate. Now, obviously, this has some damage, but it's 80-some years old. It is dated 3 of 41 down here at the bottom. Does have a pretty good whammy across the chief, a good whammy here, and, of course, some around the edges. The backside, there again, you can see the age on this thing. You know, this is actual rust, not something from China where they beat on it with a hammer and then poured vinegar on it, and it's orange. You can tell this one's got some age to it. What's great about it is, yeah, the Chief has a whammy across it, but you can still, it's obvious what it says. The fire doesn't have much damage, but the beautiful helmet and Texaco logo, look great on this thing. So that's what's good about it. It's got some damage up here. Down here looks good. But hey, for its age, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a great piece. I think we could all go with that, Jeff. I think for sure. Alex is coming out swinging. So lots of great comments on this. What I think we'll do, I don't know. I mean, obviously this is a pretty killer prize. We'll get some Texaco cans or something to go with it. For second and third. Don't know what that's going to be yet. We'll announce those over the next couple of weeks as we get closer. Let's look at the calendar here. And it looks like the 29th is a Sunday. However, that is also the day after the auction. We'll probably try to do it on the 29th. That's going to be a long weekend for me. But we'll shoot for doing it on the 29th. It'll probably be an abbreviated episode that night since the F&E Collector Auto Auction is that weekend. So we'll see how things go. But we'll probably plan on doing this on the 29th of this month. Just so you guys, these pump plates are great sizes as well. This is the normal size. There are actually other versions of this. This one is 12 by 18. 18 inches tall, 12 inches wide. Big enough that it's easily visible, small enough you can hang it about anywhere. There is a smaller version of this sign. I have a couple of this size. I have one of the smaller version. I also have this for a visible, a curved one for a visible, just like my Indian over there. So there are different variations of this. This is the normal 12 by 18, which is the most common size of this Fire Chief pump plate. So there you have it. Obviously, lots of great response. Everybody's excited about it. Ought to be a great raffle this month in September of 2024 for this old school original Fire Chief Texaco gasoline pump plate. Bring Pete back on the 29th and give it away. Well, we'll see how many guys come to the auction. If some of you guys come in for the auction that weekend and stay over Sunday night, we may have a house full. Who knows? If everybody comes in for the auction on the 28th and some of you decide to stay to do the show on the 29th, we have to move next door to the new shop or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what we can figure out. But a lot of fun. So I'm going to put this pack of papers away because this is last month's raffle. I got Pappy's envelope right here. I want to put that in the Buick oil can, so make sure I don't forget to get Pappy in this month. We're going to get Dennis's free entries in, and you guys can start getting your tickets for the Texaco Fire Chief pump plate. I'll find some Texaco cans or something to go with it. We'll try to stay on a Texaco theme, though. We'll get some more cool Texaco stuff for the second and third names out of the can. To get in the raffle, David, it's $1 a chance, $1 for every ticket that goes in the can. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. The PayPal information is in the description part of the video. After we get done, if you go back and click on the video, look at the text part. My PayPal info is in there. So don't understand that, big job. Yeah, if we have enough people come to the auction, it may be filmed with a live studio audience. I don't know. Who knows? We may have a group show up, and we'll do whatever we need to do. We may have to move next door. I've got I got this couch next door, guys. I mean, completely off topic. We were up in Hayes like 3 or 4 years ago, and my sister actually bought it. Then she decided she didn't want it, so which I'm kind of excited about. But there was this building. They had moved a bunch of stuff from, it was Pontiac, Buick and Cadillac dealership. And the reason we went up there is they had porcelain letters off the side of the building. Cadillac, was it Cadillac, Buick, and Pontiac? I don't remember. I know it was Cadillac. I know it was Buick. So we went up to get. So obviously, my sister found them on Facebook. Me and Dad, and my sister jumped in the truck trailer, headed to Hayes to buy all these letters. We had a whole bunch of stuff out of this dealership in this building. They had sold the dealership. They moved a bunch of stuff over there. So, FEClassicCarAuction.com, Rusty Okie, is the website. FEClassicCarAuction.com is the website. Oh, they were GMC. So it must have been Cadillac, Buick, GMC. So we go up there to get all these porcelain letters, of course. As soon as we saw them on Facebook, we jumped up, headed up there. But they had this couch in there. And like I said, my sister bought it, and then she decided she wanted it, which was awesome because then I bought it from her. This thing is so 1974 dealership. I mean, this thing screams 1974 car dealership. Low sitting, green vinyl, chrome frame. I mean, literally and it's an L shape. The only thing that didn't come with it, was the ashtrays with the little flippers where you push the button and it would flip open to dump the cigarette butt in there. That's the only thing that did come with this couch. But this couch is so awesome. It screams 1974 car dealership. It's awesome. One of these nights we got to get it out. We got to hang out on it. If we have enough people come for the F&E auction that are going to hang around on Sunday night, we may have to get it out. But it's so cool. So obviously completely off topic, but when you said a crowd coming in, I thought of the couch because it's awesome. So anyway, no, I don't want to sell it actually. But if all you guys come in, we may have to line a half dozen people up on it. I don't know. Everybody wants to buy the couch. We got to get the couch out. I've never seen anything else that said I am at a car dealership in 1974. So anyway, I don't know. I was getting a little worked up about that. How about that? What the heck? Let's just give you a double whammy. It's been a few minutes. We got excited about the raffle. Okay. Hey, guess what? I guess it's time to auction some stuff off. Anybody interested in adding some cool stuff to your collections? I guess we better dig the auction boxes out, right, guys? We ready for that? Bird is. All right, let me get regrouped here. Move this Texaco sign over here. Move this over here. Put this paperwork over here. Looks like everybody's ready to go. Other than Austin better go to bed. I do have some killer cans tonight. All right. Let's see. Looks like everybody's ready to go. I got a big pile of stuff here. I tell you what, sometime this winter, guys, we're just going to have an auction night and clean some of this stuff out. There's a bunch of stuff piled in here. It's ridiculous. But we got a little bit of everything tonight. Let's go ahead and get started. As usual, we'll start off with a few smaller pieces. We'll show you the piece. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that particular piece in history. We'll show you any damage. We'll point out any damage on it. We'll give you some sides. There's dirty. And as we're describing the piece and talking about it, if it's something that you're interested in, be sure to throw a bid in out there so that I know we have interest in the piece. After we get done with the description, I will recap where the bids may or may not be, and then we will put on a timer. We will go 2 minutes. After, I will give you, and I will let you know when we've hit 1 minute. I will let you know when we've hit 1 minute, 30 seconds, and that there are 30 seconds left on that particular item. Now, everybody has a delay. I don't know if it is 5 seconds or 30 seconds, and your delay is different, and it also depends on where you're at, what device you're on, PC, smartphone, smart TV, tablet, as well as your internet provider. That's why I give you the 1 minute warning and the minute 30-second warning. If you've got a long delay, when I tell you when a minute 30 is over, by the time you see that, we may be about done. We may be down to the last few seconds. So when I tell you a minute 30 has passed, it is time to hit it with your maximum bid. 90% of the time, if you've got a maximum number in your head and you hit it with that, you usually got it covered. If you bump it $1 or $2, you usually get sniped. So anyway, I'm just going to go with a pigeon. It might be quicker than dealing with your ads. Okay. That's all small stuff tonight, so shipping will be included in the 48 states. Non-U.S. bidders will have to pay me in U.S. funds as well as pay non-U.S. shipping. And let's start doing some digging here. I've also got reruns from July are back in here. Stuff that did not get paid for in July. As well as, actually, there's one cap in here that got paid for, but I never could get an address on it. So finally, after 2 or 3 weeks, I just sent a refund and said, there's no address. If you want to resubmit the payment with the shipping info, I'll get it to you, and never heard back. So I mean, there's a few things that didn't get paid for in July, but like that one got paid for, but there was nothing I could do with it, and I didn't want to keep somebody's money and not be able to send them something. So Gray Kitty is over on the counter. Right, Gray Kitty? Gray Kitty. Addie wants to see you. You're hiding behind the propeller. Why are you hiding behind the propeller? Why are you hiding behind the propeller? You're like directly hiding behind the propeller blade. Why are you hiding behind the propeller? Because you're a weirdo. Chunky Butt's eating, so no cats over here right now. There's so much stuff in here, I got to spread it out a little bit just to find it. Yeah, Nut Farm can give me an address. Okay. Let's start with a set of plates, a matched set of plates. These aren't super old, but it's kind of cool because they are a matched set. And they're out of state, which is a little bit different as well. Big Job's going to get his 10 in there now to start it off with. Let's have a Hudson badge, and then let's get into these plates. Starting off with the first item of tonight, a matched set of South Dakota from 1966. These are kind of an off-white background with blue letters. Perfect, Kenny. Glad they made it. But this is a pair. Same numbers. 64T 119. Unfortunately, these aren't the really killer ones with Mount Rushmore on them. But it is kind of cool that here they are, 50-some years later, that they're still together. It's a match set. These are plain on the back with this coating on the front. 1966 South Dakota matched set. So, Yep, that's right, Sam. Jump on over to YouTube because Facebook ain't got no sound. Let's see. Several bids already. Briggs at 20 is my high bid. Yeah, exactly. South Park. All right, let's roll on this pair. These are standard size 6x12. I'm assuming this may have been off a truck since they have the T on them, but it is a matched set. 58 years later, they're still together. I think we'll keep them together and add them to one of your collection. Briggs at 20 on the 66 South Dakota matched set. All right. Rolling along. Briggs at 20. You're getting the pair. One bid shipped to you. One minute gone. 1 minute left to go. They are truck plates, okay? That's kind of what I was suspecting. 2 for 1 at a $20 bid. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. And a minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Briggs at 20. Just about ready to wind this one down. Alex at 25. Pappy 22, but I've got Alex at 25. A few seconds left to go. And Pappy at a 26, just a hair too late. It was going to 201, and Pappy's 26 came in. Alex at 25. Pappy tried to come back. It was just a hair too late. Alex at 25. Briggs had a 30 in there as well. That one was way too late. Usually, I know Kansas did up until 76. You got a new plate every year in Kansas up until 76. That's when they started going to stickers. I don't know about other states, but Oklahoma was 80, 74 in Maine, so most of it was in the 70s the way it looks like. How about we do another little can? There again, starting off with a few smaller pieces, not real high dollar stuff. Everybody kind of figures out where their bids are, or excuse me, where their delay is at. But how about a tire patch kit? You guys remember the tire patch kits? Don't really need them much anymore, but back in the day, everybody had these in their cars. A lot of different companies made them, but finding good ones that have survived, especially considering a lot of these were cardboard, a lot of them didn't make it. This one, the Dutch brand, Bevel Edge Patches, Emergency Motorist's Outfit, contents 6 bevel edge patches, 1 strip patching rubber, 1 tube of cement, 1 buffer, manufactured by Van Cleve Brothers, Chicago. This one does not have a year on it, but it's pretty early. The Nut Farm doesn't care because he started us off at 15. Check this thing out. It's a great looking can. It's got a little bit of discoloration up here for the Dutch brand Bevel Edge Patches Emergency Motorist's Outfit. Instructions on the back. This has the top where it's serrated to scuff the rubber with. This actually does still have some contents inside of it. Let's see what's in there. It does still have a piece of rubber, as well as the instructions repairing synthetic inner tubes. the Dutch brand way. So here is the instructions. Devin at 20. And the information on the back. So, pretty cool piece. I've got some stuff laying here for you too, Devin. Next time, slap your address on the next payment, and so I can get this stuff on the way. I assume you might still be out on the rig, so it's not a big deal, but I do still have some stuff laying here for you. So, Devin at 20 on the Dutch brand beveled tire patch tube repair kit. And we're live and on the timer. Freshly home. Okay. Yeah, give me your address. I'll get this stuff on the way to. I know I got a hubcap and stuff out there for you, so. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Nut Farm at 25. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Wrapping this one up, coming out of the wire, just a little bit of time left. Nut Farm at 25. And that does it. Nut Farm at 25. And the ads are still going bananas. You know what? What's weird, guys? And maybe I've missed them. I have not had one ad notification on my screen tonight that I've seen. They could be popping up, and I'm just getting busy and missing them. But I haven't seen one in that corner, and I'm trying to watch for them. Who's ready for a cap? How about a cap, a toy, some emblems, more license plates, some cans? We got a crazy plethora of stuff laying down here tonight. I think we may have done one of these caps before at some point. But something for our bow tie fans. I think this is 53 or 54. Bert at 10. Bert's a cap fan. On this 53 or 54 era Chevy dog dish caps. So this is kind of a cool one. This one's banged up a little bit. It's got some dings, some dents. Stainless has a nice shine. It's got the bow tie in the middle of the earlier Chevy style emblem from the 50s. We can see where there was some blue paint back here in the background where this was originally blue. You know, polished up, put a little blue paint back on this thing would really make this thing pop hanging on your wall. So not a super rare one, but a good looking one. This one is Mark at 12, Bert at 15, Mary at 15, 10.5 in diameter on this Chevy dog dish cap. So just over 10 inches. And we are on the timer. Mark at 16. Bert at 20. Mark 22. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mark at 22. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mark 22. Bert 24. Coming out of the wire, about ready to wrap it up. Bert at 24. And that does it. Bert at 24. All right. How about some toys? Anybody want to do some toys? How about a three-fer on some toys? These are all small, but they are so cool. Starting off with a Tootsie. 30s era on this Tootsie Coupe. Now it's broken. It has a chip out of it over here. This is broken. It is chipped. But it's a cool looking little Tootsie. It is 3 inches. That's right, but wait, there's more. There's 3 of them on this batch. The next one, the Acme. Yes, it does say Acme on the bottom of it. Airline limousine. It says airline limousine across the top here. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but check this thing out. Early plastic. Super swoopy. This is cracked on the other side. It is not missing a part of the body, but it is cracked. Does still have the original wheels on it. Four and a quarter length on this one. And one more. 3 of them. Pappy's got to jump off. Glad you were here. This one, I couldn't make out a name on it either, but it does say made in the USA on this killer big 40s era, almost Buick looking fastback. Now it does have some distortion in it, and it's got a couple of cracks in here. But it does have all the original tires and wheels. It's got a killer looking nose on it. Big swoopy back on it. Blue in color. Bert at 5. You're getting all of them. Briggs at 10. All 3 of them. One-shot deal. Let's get them on the timer. All 3 of these little toy cars. And I know none of them are high-dollar ones. That's why we got them in a group. But, I mean, you know, they got to be 10 or 15 bucks a piece if you went to buy them all. So they're pretty cool ones. And they're early. I mean, these are all 30s or 40s. We can get them all to where you can kind of see them. Briggs at 10. That's all we got on all three of these. Yeah, these are all super cool. One minute gone. 1 minute. We've hit the 1 minute mark, and that's all we got. $10 on all three of them. Whoops. Coming up on the minute 30 mark, and still no other bids. You guys gonna let Briggs have these for that? Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the wire, about ready to wrap it up. Allen at 12. Austin 15. And that does it. Austin at 15 at about 159. He didn't have much room, but he got it in. All right. How about another plate? We ready for another plate? Austin's getting dialed in. We got some cans coming up yet tonight, so. But how about another plate? It's hard to believe that this thing is 85 years old and still looks like this. I was kind of surprised when I cleaned this up today. I thought it was a pretty decent one. But Bird at 10, he ain't even seen it yet. He just knew it's a cool plate he's in. But it's amazing to think this thing is 85 years old, and it's not perfect. It's got a little bit of service rust and stuff. But this 1939 Minnesota. Michigan, not tonight. I do have some Michigan stuff, Mark, but I don't have anything in here tonight. Check out this 1939 Minnesota. This thing's 85 years old. Cans or Fords? I got a little bit of both coming up, Rusty Yogi. I polished and waxed this just a little bit. I just ran a polisher over it real lightly and waxed it, and that is what came out. This thing is original, 1939, 85 years old. It's kind of an odd size. Let me give you the size on this, and then we're going to get it on the timer. Several bids already. This is 12 3/4 by 4 1/4. So 12 3/4 by 4 1/4. So it's kind of an odd size plate. Alex at 35 is our high bidder as we go on the timer. Mary, 40. It's a pretty plate. It really is. Man, when I got this thing kind of cleaned up, I was like, oh, man, that thing is great. Yeah, that's true. That is a pretty unique 9. Now, actually, believe it or not, I've got a Harbor Freight buffer, a little hand buffer that I just go across it a couple times real quick and then wax it. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Nut Farm's getting a thing for plates. It's a good looking one. This is pretty. Big Job's got more ads. They must be picking on you tonight, Big Job. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 40. Nut Farm 41. Mary 45. Coming down to the end, about ready to wind it up. Mary at 45. And that does it. Mary at 45. John said his wife just said bye, and we're all nuts. She's just agreeing with us, right? I assume that's where she's going with that. She's just agreeing. We already know that. So great looking piece there. How about where's our emblem fans at? I got kind of a, well, it's not a massive emblem, but it's a pretty cool emblem. Do we have any Dodge fans out there? It's kind of a statement piece for a Dodge guy. In fact, I probably should keep it, actually, but I'm going to sell it. It's cool. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Mary, 15. All right, let's take a look at it. This is a 60s era, all metal, Dodge truck 200. Look at that thing. Somebody did paint the blue on this and kind of got a little carried away with it. There's some blue on the edges. That's right. Nobody's are not right. We're well aware of that. I mean, I guess everybody else is just trying to confirm what we already know. I'm guessing. This is a pop metal badge. This is pop metal with chrome. It is actually pretty flat. Stud mount. The studs are still on the back intact. Chrome looks good on this thing. Nut Farm at 30. Let's give you a size on this thing. It is 6 inches by 3 1/8. So 6 inches by 3 1/8. Nice big killer Dodge badge. Nut Farm at 40, and let's get this thing on the timer. Mid-60s, I believe, Bert. Somewhere in the mid-60s. 200, so it would have been a 3/4 ton. That's true. Sometimes being not right maybe keeps the neighbors away when you don't want them around. Not always a bad thing. But definitely a good-looking piece. Nice chrome, bright, shiny, in-your-face Dodge. That's true. If you can't dodge it, you can always ram it. Nut Farm at 40 as we're getting close to the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Nut Farm at 40 on the big Dodge badge. You hold it up to your hand, kind of about the size of your palm of your hand. No, it's 200, so it would have been off a pickup. Would have been like a 3/4 ton pickup. And there's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 40. Mary, 43. As we're ticking away, getting towards the end, I've got Mary at 43. Nut Farm at 45. Fires right back. See if Mary can sneak another one in. We're just about done, but not quite there yet. And that does it. The Nut Farm at 45. Couple more shots. Ken had a shot. Mary had a shot, but they were all too late. Because at the 200, I had the Nut Farm at 45. Nut Farm seen him coming too, so he had another shot in there. Holy cow, there's all kinds of bids hung up in there. But to be fair, the only thing I can go by is what I see at the 200 mark. Unfortunately for me, because there's more bids coming in for more money. Whole bunch of stuff going on there that didn't get to me in time, unfortunately. But that's okay. We do this for fun. That's part of it. More ads. Who's up for some sales literature? A killer piece of sales literature. Amazing artwork for our bow tie fans. Going back to the mid-50s to 1955, more ads popping up. The all-new Chevrolet Task Force trucks. Work styled for every hauling job. The Task Force Chevrolet trucks. This came from Iowa. Hart Chevrolet in Iowa, the way it looks. Can't quite make it out. The stamp's a little blurry. Mary 10, Burnett 10. And let's open this baby up, because this is some of that amazing artwork from back in the mid-50s. As we fold it open, featuring Chevrolet Task Force trucks, trend-setting style, load-pulling look, including the new for 1955 Cameo. Hood emblem for a Chevy truck in the 80s model. I mean, that's depends on what you need, Ronnie. That's a ton of different emblems. You have to give me a call and get me some more specifics on exactly what you needed. So you've got basically the panel truck, the stake truck, and the Cameo. Now, we fold it open again. Sturdy new chassis, built for longer life, smoother load, steady ride, lower ton-mile hauling costs. And once more, as we open it up to the middle, work styled for every hauling job, 2 distinct, new, modern, and complete truck lines that feature better weight distribution, increased maneuverability and stability, new wheelbases, thrilling new performance, power, and new GVW up to 18,000 pounds, pickups, platforms, forward control chassis trucks, stakes, school buses, and the carry-all Suburban. So anyway, there it is. The 1955 Chevy truck sales brochure. I've got Austin at 20. We're live on the timer. Let's see what happens. Dennis at 25. Yeah, it is crazy how paper like this survived in this condition. Dennis at 25. The artwork on these things are amazing. A lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of work put into these things. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Dennis at 25. Yep, that's right. The first year for the 265 V8. Dennis at 25. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Dennis at 25 on the 1955 Chevy truck sales brochure. Martin's here. Martin stopped by tonight. Dennis at 25. Pete, 33. Austin, 30. And I've got Pete at 33. Austin at 35, and he got it done. Holy cow. Austin got it done at 159 and change. I thought Pete had that one locked in, and Austin slid one more back in at 35. Holy cow. That got ugly. Austin got it done by about a half a second, but he got it in. Whew. I thought Pete had him covered. Man, he was quick. There was only that much left, and he got it done. Whew. Just need a Hudson badge after that one. Uncle Shaggy's here checking in. All right. How about a can? We haven't done a can yet tonight. I keep promising you cans. Fresh from the Springfield swap meet. This is a great cork. The top's been cut out of it. These are kind of tough to find. I've got them, so I'm going to sell you this one. Even though this is not the best on condition, it's still pretty decent. I did polish it up a bit, and it looks really good. I don't know. I haven't even heard back on my new shirt guy, Tony. I need to check in with him. I know spring and summer he gets so busy with car show stuff that I was hoping he was going to get me in before he got covered up, and apparently he didn't. I do need to check with him and see if he's gotten to me yet. Like I said, this guy is so good and so in demand. I'm just thrilled that he even looks at doing somebody tiny like me. So I do need to check with him and see. But yeah, we've got, and I need to count because I'm getting down to the end on these. If you don't have one of these, I am getting down to the end on them, and I won't do this shirt again. We'll probably use the truck on some other stuff, but I won't do this shirt again. So anyway, who's ready for a can? Old school, all metal quart can from Cities Service. No, I don't think we're going to do a van shirt, Glenn. I've got to get the van video done, though. I was thinking about that the other day. Bird at 15. Yes, I do. I do have some mediums left, Mary, because I did reorder some mediums, so I do have mediums. This is City Service in kind of a reddish orange. These were also done in green. Cool motor, premium. The top has been cut out. There is a rust hole in the back of it. Here is the seam where this was put together. Does have some discoloration, a little service rust, but these City Service cans are not extremely common. They do not pop up on a extremely regular basis. So even though this one isn't perfect, I was kind of excited to get a hold of it and be able to share it with you. Bert's starting us off at 15 on the City Service Cool Motor. Now, Cool Motor spelled with a K was part of City's marketing. They did use that an awful lot. Yeah, Pete was kind of mesmerized by the van. It kind of sucked him in. It was kind of like, ooh. Yeah, you guys probably have forgot about the van. There were some great van pictures on the Nobody's page the other day. We got to get the van video done because that thing is magnificent. Magnificent. I keep telling you that. I got to get that video done. But anyway, back to the City Service Cool Motor Quart in red, not green. Bird at 15. Let's get this thing on the timer, see what you guys think. This is a great can. Not one you see every day. City Service, not extremely common. Not super rare, but just ones you don't see very often. Became Citgo, Kenny, is where it eventually ended up. But it's a cool piece. So we'll see what happens. Definitely worth more than $15, but we'll see what happens. It's a great looking can. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Do a beer mug with a Hudson badge on it. There you go. Bird at 15 is all we got on this thing. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end, Bird at 15. That's all we've got. Austin at 20. Nick at 20. We're coming out of the end. Anybody else going to slide one in there? Austin at 20. Pete, 21. Austin, 25. And that does it. Austin snuck in there again on Pete with 25. That one, everything waited till the very end. Austin's cut a couple of those really close. And we all know what happens when you cut a couple of them super, super close. Shortly thereafter, they start coming in a second or two late. So Austin's won a few, but I bet that's going to start biting him here pretty quick. Up next, we're going to do a license plate that I honestly don't know if we've ever even done this Kansas plate before. This Kansas plate, you don't see them very often. It's not that they were weird. They just didn't survive. And I really don't know if we've sold one of these on here. The paint was very, very poor this year. Couple that with the fact of the age of this plate, and they just are not out there. They just don't pop up. I haven't even had a lot of them. Going back to 1946. Now, it was kind of a basic plate. It's kind of a yellowy orange. The back doesn't look bad, but there were terrible paint loss issues on the 46 plates. We can see it's got some flaking, some surface rust. It had blue letters. It is about the same size as a regular plate. 12 by about 5 3/8. Bird at 11. So a little narrower, but 12 inches long. But just not a very common one that we really see very often in any condition, because a lot of times, literally, the paint just flakes off of these. So 46s are tough. I don't ever recall selling a 46 on here. We may have found one or two. But all the Kansas plates we've sold, I don't remember that we've ever sold a 46. 68 years old. Paint loss issues from the beginning on these, so this one really doesn't look too bad. Kingman's where it's from, says Nick. We've got the Nut Farm at 13, and let's get the timer going on this one. Nut Farm at 13 on the 1946 Kansas plate. Alex, 25. 78-year-olds, you're right. Excuse me, Glenn, you're right. Alex at 25 on the 46 Kansas. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Briggs at 30. So Glenn must have a birthday coming up. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Briggs at 30. Tony, 36. And that'll do it. Tony at 36. Tony's been knocking down some killer plates here the last few weeks. All right, how about another cap? Ready for another cap? Hey, Will, glad you stopped by tonight. Now, I don't understand what somebody was thinking on this. This is a beautiful cap. Few small dings, no serious damage, and somebody drilled a hole right in the middle of it. Now, the only good thing about it is they pretty much hit the hole in the middle of the D with the hole when they drilled a hole in it. But I don't know why they would do this, but you might need some sunglasses because this thing is bright. No, I forgot about that, Devin. I do need to look and see it and get that one out of that truck. In fact, if I write it on my notepad when I check parts, then I'll remember to do it. Okay, I got you on my parts note list now. So anyway, they kind of screwed this thing up, but man, this was a nice cap. Put your blinders on for this about a 49 era Dodge. So beautiful cap, and somebody drilled a hole right in the middle of it. So Mary, 25. Few dings and dents, but not bad. I mean, it's like a mirror. Back of it, clean. Bert, 26. David's got an ad, shockingly. Even still has a decent amount of the original red paint back here. So the only good thing about it is they did pretty much hit it almost in the middle of the D. Not completely, but pretty much. I'll give you a size on this, and then we're going to get it on the timer. 9 inches in diameter. It is 9 inches in diameter on this Dodge cap. Here we go on the timer. Mary at 30. Yeah, that'd be a good one to make a clock out of because the hole's pretty much right in the middle. You would have your 3 o'clock and your 9 o'clock already here. You've got a little mark here pointing to 12 and 6. So it would make a pretty decent clock. I think it's about a 49. That is what I remember seeing, 49.50-ish on this. Mount it with a red screw. That's another good idea, Alan. On the Dodge cap. Like I said, the back's clean. I mean, just a really clean cap, other than I can see you through the hole. They punched a hole right in the middle of it. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mary at 30. Air cleaner lid. Yep, it's already got the hole in it. 30 seconds left to go. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 30. Sam gets stopped by. Getting ready to wind this one down. We're getting close to the end. I've got Mary at 30. And that does it. Mary at 30. What are you doing, Great Kitty? Great Kitty. All right, we'll catch a couple of more things yet tonight, and then we'll move on to the magazine. How about another badge bundle, this time for our Ford fans? First off, starting with a basic blue oval, a little over 3 inches long on your basic blue oval. Can kind of go about anywhere. This is plastic, was on with double-sided tape. You can pretty much stick this anywhere about 3 inches, just over 3 inches. Another plastic one in this bundle, Rusty Okie at 20, the Cobra. This is a plastic Cobra, so this is off of something more later model. It is 2 3/4 high. And one more. This is kind of a bigger one. I think this is Mustang 2. It is definitely Mustang. It is a C6 part number, so it is 76. And this is pop metal on this big chrome Mustang. This actually, the mounting tabs have been cut off of this. It had some sort of mounting tabs here that have been cut flush, so this would mount flat. It is pop metal. It is chrome plated. And it is tip to tail, 7 3/4 inches tip to tail on this Mustang. Like I said, got to be Mustang 2. Alan could tell me C6 7 Zebra. That's got to be a 76 Mustang. It's a 66. Okay, you're right. So, okay, that's why Alan's on here. C is 60s. D6 would be Mustang 2. So it is a 66 grill emblem. So, okay, I was wrong. I got my C's and my D's mixed up, but that's why we got Alan on here, to keep it straight on these Ford part numbers. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. Mary at 35 on the Ford badge bundle. I know I got you there, Alan. I got a Ford part number question. I know I can throw it at you. You'll get me straightened out. Yeah, that's true. Big job. Coming up on that 1 minute mark, we've got Mary at 35. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Mary at 35. That's a great idea of Nut Farm. In fact, we needed to talk about that, and I forgot to put it in my notes. Thanks for bringing that up. We will talk about Pioneer Village here in just a few minutes when we get done with the auctions. Just about ready to wind this one down. Mary at 35. And that does it. Big Job came in with a 36, just a hair too late. Mary came back at 42, but I didn't see it was all after the 2 minutes. Mary at 35 is what I had at 200 on my end. Just hung up. We had several things that hung up a little bit tonight on us. How about a Hudson badge? Let's catch one more plate, then we'll see where we're at for the night. See if we're about ready to wrap things up or want to do a couple of more. The ad saved you. Yeah. How about another plate? Going back to another Kansas plate, a little earlier even yet. This one has just a cool look to it. Just enough surface rust, just enough patina, just enough color left in the paint. That, man, it pops almost a little better than a little nicer one does. Going back to 1937 on this black with yellow letters Kansas. Bird at 10. The yellow on this thing just pops. It's got some surface rust, mainly over in here. We got a big Auburn badge. We can get the big Auburn badge out here in a minute. But just look, this thing just has such a killer look to it. Mark at 11, Martin at 11. It's pretty flat, bit just a hair. Back still looks pretty clean on it. Whack. But a good looking plate. This is one of the longer, narrower ones. 14 and a half, 4 3/8. Rooks County is number 70. We can go late tonight because everybody should be off tomorrow. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Bert at 17. And let's get the timer going. Like I said, this thing just has just the right look to it. Martin at 18. Alex, 28. Bert at 20. Alex at 28. Everybody's voting to do a few more. Well, I guess we'll better get a couple more things rounded up here. I got a pile, so it's not a problem. Getting a lot of votes to do more. We'll get this done. We're going to talk about Pioneer Village for a minute, then we'll squeeze a few more in. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 28. And there's the minute 30 mark. Alex still at 28. Mark said he's working tomorrow, but it's triple time. Not a bad deal. Briggs, 30. Alex, 32, and that does it. Woo! Alex literally slid that one in. I'm watching the timer and I'm watching the counter. Alex is 32. It's 158 and rolling as Alex slides I mean, he like slid that 32 in there at 158. Mary just has to go boating tomorrow, so late is okay. Do I still have a 37 Chevy farm truck missing the front clip and the left door off? I don't know. I don't remember that one, Kenny. Depends on what it was. There might be, yeah, there might be there. It depends on which one it was. I'm not sure. So yeah, that was like pretty smooth on Alex's part, just right at 158. Okay, real quick, we'll do 2 or 3 more things. So, the 2-digit numbers on Kansas. Nick's got a list with him, or whatever, but the first 2 digits on a Kansas plate tells you what county it is. Okay, real quick, before we do a few more things, Pioneer Village. Just like the Nut Farm said, round up for Pioneer Village adoptions, the Adopt a Vehicle program. We've got 4 of them this year, as well as one that Leo did for his dad and the one that Randall did on his own as well. We're right out with the donation of Glenn's box of toys and you guys rounding up over the last several months. We are right at that 400 we need to readopt those cars for next year, which will be coming up in March. Now, obviously, any money we raise over 400, we will continue to adopt cars for Pioneer Village. If you guys have not been on here when we've talked about Pioneer Village, please go check out the playlist. I've got an entire playlist on the channel from Pioneer Village. Amazing place, and they have an outstanding collection, over 300 cars and trucks in that museum. Will did call Friday. I hadn't talked to Will in a few months. Will Escarza, their new director. He's been there about a year now. They had their big car show yesterday. I wasn't able to get up there, but sounds great, Mary. That'd be awesome. Just put a note in there on your payment, and I've got that file. I keep all of those clipped together right here. In fact, got Randy right there on top. One of the first donations. This is for Pioneer Village 2025. If you put a note on there that X amount is for Pioneer Village, it gets clipped with this stack so that it is ready for the next year's donation. Michael made it tonight. So, yeah, if you're going to donate to Pioneer Village, the Adopt a Car program, just put a note on there with your payment, and I will get that amount applied to this stack for Pioneer Village. Be sure to check out those videos, and I'm hoping Scott, Rebel Driver's Garage, he was there last year. I'm hoping that he caught it yesterday, and we'll have some content on his channel. So be sure to check out Rebel Driver's Garage. Hopefully he covered the car show for them yesterday. But awesome place. Be sure to check out the playlist on the channel. Be sure to get there if you're anywhere around Minden, Nebraska. It is an amazing collection. So thanks for bringing that up, Nut Farm. I forgot about that completely, and I needed to squeeze that in tonight. So I appreciate you jogging my memory about their car show. They did have some pictures up on it on their Facebook page. So exciting that things continue to progress. I talked to Will for 10 or 15 minutes Friday and had a good chat with him. Things are still moving forward. They're getting new roofs fixed. They've got the diner leased out. If you guys remember, we did a video on the diner renovations, the Valentine Diner. They do have a barbecue place that is leasing that out for this year. So just a lot of exciting things happening. So hopefully, if you guys haven't been there, you can get there sometime soon. When am I going again? Probably around Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to squeeze some time in around that window to get up there. I haven't been there since March. So hopefully we'll see where we're at on adoptions by then and try to catch up with Will and see the new changes, what's been fixed, what's changing, what's happening at Pioneer Village. There's another thing up in that area that we do want to go check out. Excuse me. The Kearney, Nebraska Car Museum, which is about 25 miles north of Minden on I-80. They have a museum there, and they have a collection of James Hetfield's cars there for the next 6 months or a year. And I would like to see that. I would love to see Voodoo Priest in person. So there's some amazing stuff there. So want to catch that collection, and then obviously spend some more quality time with our good friends at Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. So I think that's it, Austin. I haven't been there in several years, but definitely would love to see some of Hetfield's cars. If you don't know who that is, obviously a lot of you, last November we went and saw him in St. Louis. James Hetfield, lead singer of Metallica, has some amazing cars. So hoping to be able to get up and catch Pioneer Village sometime in that window in the end of November. I'm hoping to squeeze a little time in. Just the next couple months are going to be bananas with the auction coming up. Some projects I've got scheduled with Pitt State. Just a lot of stuff happening over the next few weeks or few months. So, but I do want to get up there. So that's kind of when the next time I'm looking at going to Pioneer Village. We'll see how things go. If that works out, I'll let you guys know if some of you would like to try to swing up and catch it while we're there. So, I agree with you, Will. We went and saw him in St. Louis, and it was pretty epic. Still got my Yeti from the Seek and Destroy package that we bought when we went and saw him. So if you bought the Seek and Destroy package, you got a free Yeti. So it was worth going to. And can't wait to go see the cars. The Hetfield's cars are at the Kearney Car Museum, but that's like 25 miles north of Pioneer Village. So I'm hoping to squeeze all that into that trip. So anyway, let's catch a few more auction pieces. What do we got left laying around here? We got a cap. We got stuff everywhere. What do we want to do that's cool? Hey, we got a couple Pontiac pieces I threw in here a few weeks ago. But Tony would like that. Let's see. So we got some emblems. We got a cap. We got to do another plate, I guess. This is a beauty as well. Wow, that's nice. Okay. How about a cap, a plate, and some emblems? All right. How about a horn button and an emblem for our Pontiac fans? Starting off with a mid-70s Firebird front badge. This would have gone between the grills on the header panel. Some fading in the red, but the plastic is still there. It's not busted out. Bird at 15. And this Firebird is about 2 3/4 inches wide. It is stud mount, pot metal base with a plastic insert. As well as a horn button, energy absorbing from the late 60s. These were a great looking button. Energy absorbing. It had this kind of, not really an emerald green, but kind of a minty green with the Pontiac head in it. Were the doors on the late 30s pickup trucks much lighter than current pickups? Oh, yeah, for sure. There wasn't much to them. Car doors, if they were 4-door doors, they weren't much heavier. If they were 2-door doors and bigger, they would be heavier. So this was a horn button, late 60s era Pontiac. It is about 3.5 in diameter. So we're going to sell you both of them. Pontiac badge bundle, a horn button and a badge. Got a hung up bid at 15 between Bert and Mary, but I don't think that's going to last long. Let's get this on the timer and get rolling. Bert, 21. John, 20. Glenn, 22. Holy cow, they're still pouring in. Bert at 30. I think energy absorbing was a collapsible column when the government mandated the collapsible steering column. Bert at 30 is still our high bid. Glenn at 31. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mary, 35. What? Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Mary at 35. There could be some snipers out there. There's a lot of action on these. Mary at 35. Tony at 45. Few seconds left. Tony at 45. And that did it. Mary had a 48, but it was 2:01. Tony got him done at 45. All right, let's catch a plate, then let's catch a cap, and then we'll squeeze a little bit of this magazine in yet tonight. Going back to 1952 to the land of 10,000 lakes. 1952 Minnesota. This thing looks really pretty amazing for 1952. Yeah, tons of ads again. Check this thing out. 72 years old. Look at the color on this. This one I did not polish. This is just the way I pull it out of the box when I found it. We can still see the runs. I don't know if you guys can see it. The runs in the paint from when this thing was painted. The back side looks good. It's kind of a yellowy orange with blue letters. We can still see some of the paint flaws in it. I mean, this thing looks really great. I mean, considering its age, it's amazing that it held up this long. There's a little bit of surface rust over here, but not too bad at all. Let's give you guys an Auburn badge to get this thing rolling. And let's see, where are we at on bids? Lots of bids on this Minnesota. Michael at 25 is our high bidder. And let's get this thing on the timer. Yeah, considering it's from the salt belt and the rust belt, it's pretty darn nice. Yeah, he didn't get early release. That's true. John said maybe he painted it. Michael at 25, but there was a lot of interest in this, so we'll see if that holds. But I do know one thing. I do know that we will know the answer to that question in 1 minute, because 1 minute is gone and we've got 1 minute left, and we've got Michael at 25. Briggs, 28. And there's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Briggs at 28. That's right, Michael. That's exactly how it sounds. And that does it. Briggs at 28 gets it done. Add that one to the Briggs Garage collection. All right, let's catch one more cap. You guys wanted to do one more cap. This one's kind of banged up a bit, but I think it's late 30s. It's got awesome character to it. And another piece for our bow tie fans. This thing, I'm not sure what they had it rubbed up against, but they got a heck of a circular scratch going in it to this old late 30s era Chevrolet cap. It's almost kind of artistic. If you guys can see the scratches, how there's just this massive circle of scratches right in the middle of this cap. It's like almost, it's got dings and dents and stuff in it over here for sure. But I don't know how they rubbed this circle of scratches in it without just completely destroying the entire cap. Rusty Oakie's done. We got Chevy stuff up. He's out of here. This is a metal-based cap with metal-based structure with a chrome cap over the top of it. I'm just not really sure how they managed to get all those scratches in there in a circular motion without completely destroying it. Dirt racing, that's a possibility. You know, you could repaint the Chevrolet letters in it, and I think it would really pop. But like I said, a little bit rough, but definitely got some age to it. It's got these extra ornaments stamped in here, so it's kind of a different cool cap, just banged up a bit. So anyway, John said his wife might have been driving. Okay. Could have been stuck. Yep, that's true. That's true, too. You could have been stuck and done it. But like I said, definitely unique. Definitely adds to the character of it. A pretty cool cap. Bird at 20, and let's get this thing rolling on the timer. Last piece for the night, and then we're going to catch a little bit of this Hot Rod magazine from last week. Oh, and by the way, there's classifieds in this magazine. Some amazing classifieds. Bird at 20. Dirty said he thinks it was his brother's cap. And more ads. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Bird at 20. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Bird at 20. Maybe this one's heading to Bert. We'll see. Coming out of the wire, Bird at 20. That must be it. Unless there's a sniper out there. And no, we'll add this to Bert Stack with his other caps and get it on the way to him. Bird at 20. that was a lot of fun again tonight. Lots of cool stuff. Great time with all of you. Hudson badge. Let's wrap up the January 1975 issue of Hot Rod Magazine. Started on this last week. We got a few articles to catch, just a couple ads, but we've got classified ads in the back of this thing as well. But there are some super cool articles. January 1975, cover price of $1. Hot Rod, the world's largest automotive magazine. Sounds awesome, Austin. Appreciate that, guys. Glad you guys had fun. Seems like everybody got a little bit of stuff tonight, which is what it's all about. Let's get into this hot rod, catch a little bit of this, go back to 1975 and check out what was going on back then. And this is something that really kind of caught me off guard. The readers page, we've got to remember, we were in January of 1975. Let's check out the readers' rides. This is a good example of what guys were building back in 1975. So if we look at this, it's not much different than it is today. 66 Chevy 2, Model A, square body Chevy pickup, Impala, and another Chevy 2. Oh, that sucks, Briggs. Sorry to hear that. It's kind of weird. And here's the crazy part about it. One, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Two, this is 1975. This is essentially a new Chevy pickup. These are 8, 9, 10-year-old Chevy 2s. It's a 10-year-old Impala. And that's what they were building. So obviously we see a lot of people customizing pickups now, grill guards, accessories, lift kits, wheels. But, we don't see anybody hot rodding a 10-year-old Equinox. Something else to kind of really put us into perspective of that we are in 1975. I think it was Jeff that threw up some killer van pictures this week on the No Buddies page. But the next coverage they had, under the ever watchful eye of King City's local purveyors of law and order, over 900 vans rolled into the Salinas County Fairgrounds for the West Coast Van Nationals. Oh, yeah, the Van Nationals. So obviously we've got a killer van we've got to share with you that Glenn saved for us. But there again, this was a big deal. The Van Nationals, 900 vans at that show. Now, it could have been. It may have been there, but I don't see it in the pictures, but it could have been there. There are some Dodges in here, but I do not see the Wizard. However, the next article, also related to vans and relating to custom vans, and also relating to what we see today that is extremely common. At last, a low-cost, high-quality mural made easy. Now, when we show you the video on the Wizard is all airbrush. However, the mural painting fad has been with us for several years now. But odds are, if you've tried to do it yourself, you found it more of a challenge than you realized. And if you've been lucky enough to have a custom painter in your area who is capable of doing good airbrush mural work, You've been astounded when he told you how expensive it was. Well, there is now a quick and easy way to add murals to the exterior or interior of your van. Yes, vinyl. Obviously, today you can wrap anything in vinyl, but it was just coming out with the van trend and the van movement in 1975. So I thought that was cool. Perfect Nut Farm, appreciate it. But there again, that's what's cool about taking these trips back in time and seeing what was happening, when it was happening, how it was happening. But when we show you the Wizard is all airbrushed, and it even has it's still the artist where the artist signed it is still on there. We got to get the Wizard done. We got to get it done. It's too epic to not share with you guys. Speaking of putting things into a certain time frame, lots of people out here looking for vans. Dirty wants another one. Tony wishes he'd have kept his. Kenny still wishes he'd have has his. You guys might want the Wizard. You might want the Wizard. Not a shorty, but it's a beauty. But remember, we're in 1975. And this is a pro stock Mustang 2. You know, the Mustang 2 just came out in 74. There again, essentially a brand new car turned out into a pro stock drag car. Auction the Wizard. Speaking of drag racing, the super meet of 1974, never in the history of the sport have so many blown up so much equipment to go so fast as at the NHRA Super Nationals World Finals at Ontario Motor Speedway. Now remember, there's still a lot of black and white in this magazine, just like the van article that we just looked at. A lot of this stuff still black and white. These van pictures would have been amazing in color, but they still did. The color was still expensive back then. However, for these action shots from the 74 Super Nationals, these guys were blowing up these funny cars, and they've got them all in color. Check these shots out. So definitely some carnage there. And some great black and white shots as well. Okay, a few ads I want to catch in here, and then we're going to get to the classified. Billy Bowen's here. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it. Just a couple of classifieds. This part of the magazine, there was a lot more meat in it with all these articles that we just covered with the van show and the drags, which were a couple pages apiece. But a couple of ads that we definitely want to look at. The first one for the Chevrolet Corvette, introducing a more efficient Corvette. That's it on the right, the 1975 Corvette. It has something no Corvette has ever had before, the Chevrolet efficiency system. So there's the top picture. Glad you're enjoying it, Tony. The super efficiency system. We're talking about a series of significant engineering improvements working together for the very first time to help lower the cost of operating your Corvette at the same time improving engine performance. No small accomplishment. System components include high energy ignition. Yes, the old GM HEI, just coming out in the mid-70s. Catalytic converter. That was the winner. That was the one that pushed over the performance edge, right? Early fuel evaporation, outside air carburation, and steel belted radial ply tires. Yes, it breaks all of these amazing efficiency adding benefits to the 1975 Corvette, has them all broke down here. So as I was looking at this last night, getting my notes put together, I thought, wow, high energy ignition, fresh air intake. And then I think about Dad's C8 and looking at the technology in his 22 C8. And it's crazy to think that 45 years later, 47 years later, can you imagine the person that wrote this ad if they were looking at a new C8? It just really made me think about the perspective of putting all this in and what it all took to do this and where we've gone since then. You've had an ad almost every 3 minutes. You know what's weird is I have not had one ad notification to show me to skip them tonight. That's weird from my end, because right over here in this lower corner, I usually it would give me a bar and says ads in 60 seconds. I could go hit skip ads. I've not seen that one time tonight. One other ad that I want to catch before we get to the classified ads. I wanted to save a few minutes for the classifieds, because obviously old classifieds are awesome, right? The subscription, high performance from Hot Rod, high performance how-to tips for improving your car's all-around performance and looks, high performance action on racetrack and drag strips around the world in words and pictures, high performance cars and how they got to be that way, plus special articles and news reports on the latest legislation and technical developments affecting the high-performance automotive field. Subscribe now for $9 a year, a $3 savings off of the regular newsstand price of $12. Who's hacking over there? Chunky butt. Hey! Oh, that sounds interesting, John. Classifieds. To wrap up this issue of Hot Rod from January of 1975, we still have some of the old school classifieds. So let's find out what was for sale. Sell 1971 Pontiac, Pro-Built Altered or Hot Rod. Fresh 406, glass front end, best of everything, minus tires, rims, and carbs. I don't know how they're going to move with no tires and rims. $2,500. Pretty vague on that ad. There are some T-buckets in here, Alan. Sell 1970 Shelby GT500, 428 Cobra Jet, automatic, steering, brakes, stereo, posi, air, new radials, red with white interior, 28,000 miles. Bert's got to jump off. Glad you were here. $5,950, $5,950 for a 5-year-old Shelby GT500 428 Cobra Jet. Sell 55 Chevy 283 4-speed Mallory ignition, Holly 650, Schleifer clutch and flywheel, Hurst shifter, make an offer. Sell 59 Edsel Villager station wagon collector's item, 352 in good condition, $2,000 for a 59 Edsel wagon. All right, let's squeeze a few of these T buckets in here for Alan. Sell 23 T Roadster pickup, New 350 Chevy, 400 turbo, Babs radiator, wires and discs, diamond tuft, very dependable, $4,200. That was a lot of change in 75. Sell an engine for sale. LS6, 450 horse, 454, factory complete with bell housing, 16,000 miles, $1,000. Sell or trade, possible trade, 1957 Nomad. And this is definitely a 70s era Nomad. 327 headers, 4-speed, Hurst shifter, 411 gears, new carpet and seats, body perfect, no filler, $1,750 for a 57 Nomad. It's got a little picture of it. And, oh yeah, this baby is 1970s. It's got baby moons on the front. It's got 5 slots on the back. It's got a small block and a 4-speed. Oh yeah, that is a 1975 57 Nomad. Little black coral snake that now lives next door went back over the fence. Well, that's good. Sell 1968 426 Hemi, GMC blower set up for marine use, ready to run on gas, engine fresh, nothing but the best, chrome or polished, $5,200. That was an insane amount of money for an engine in 75. $5,200 for the motor, but it was a blown Hemi, but it was also set up for a boat. Sell 302 Boss Ford engine, brand new, completely balanced and blueprinted, fresh 302 Boss motor, $2,300 invested. Best offer. How about another T-bucket for Alan? 23T, 289 injected, chrome Jag rear end. Oh, wow. This thing was big time. Injected 289 and a Jag rear end, a chrome Jag rear end. That was big time 70s street rod stuff. Much chrome and 24 karat gold plating. Street legal, has taken many outstanding awards. $13,000 invested, $8,000 or best offer, including the covered trailer. And it's got a picture of this. But man, in the mid 70s, this injected small block 289 and a chrome Jag rear end. That was 70s street rod right there. Sell 58 Corvette, original, restored with new red interior, new electric windows, electric top, Wonderbar radio, new Power Glide trans. Beautiful car. Best offer over $2,500. Sell 1972 442 W30, a black 442 W30. AM FM stereo, factory stripes, original 455 has been balanced and blueprinted, $3,800. Sell 55 Chevy 2-door post, new paint and chrome, rebuilt 327 fuel injection, headers, cam, mags, Muncie Hurst, white pleat and roll, new carpet, $2,000. Yeah, that's why I had to mention that 442. That sounded like a heck of a car. A few more we're going to catch, then we're going to wrap up tonight. But these classifieds are so much fun. I want to get the last few in here. Sell 1969 Camaro Z28. The 302's been punched 30, 15,000 miles, balanced, blueprinted. 10 mile per gallon. I don't know why they thought they had to put 10 miles the gallon in it. I don't think anybody really cared. You're not buying a 69Z with a 302 knock 30 over that's been balanced and blueprinted and worried about mileage, but they put 10 miles the gallon in there. $4,000. Sell 67 Shelby Mustang GT 350 automatic radials, original in good condition. $3,200. We just did a video with Jim on a 67 GT 350 that he's got in stock, and I think he's got it priced at $189. Slight difference in value. Sell collector's item 1968 Hurst Olds. Dual gate, automatic, air, power steering, power disc brakes. Very rare car with excellent care. Completely stock. $2,500. How about another T-Bucket? Sell 23 T-Roadster, 80% complete with a blown Hemi and a torque flight. Short pickup, full fender, sprint car headers, $4,000 invested. They will take $2,000 for a mostly complete T-Bucket with a blown Hemi in it. I'm sure it's a Gen 1 Hemi. It actually has a picture of it, and it sure looks like the early Gen 1 Hemi to me. There's that 69Z we were talking about a minute ago. That's right, Alan. These ads are so great. I know we're running a little bit late, but I wanted to squeeze these last few in here. Sell 1968 Roadrunner, blueprinted 426 Hemi, crane valve train, NASCAR rods, tunnel ram, Milidon oil system, headers, M&H's, Krager's. So we've got a 68 Hemi Roadrunner with a fresh Hemi and a tunnel ram. Oh, yeah. Did I mention we're in 1975? Just in case you forgot, we are in 1975. $5,000 for a 68 Hemi Roadrunner with a tunnel ram. Couple more to catch, but we are about done, unfortunately. Sell 38 Chevy Coupe with a 327 Chevy. Pearl white paint with candy red flames. Velvet interior, detailed undercarriage, supercar. It does not have a price, but it does have a picture, so I definitely want to share it with you. Check out the 38 Chevy. Not really big on those flames, but hey, it had a velvet interior. You got to remember that. Great kitty. What are you doing, Great Kitty? One more to catch, and that'll be the end of the classified ads. Yep, no more on the next page. Sell 1957 Chevy Bel Air hardtop. Hundreds of new parts, including a fuel-injected 350, turbo 400, Buick wire wheels, 7,500 invested. See in the March of 74 issue of Hot Rod. So they built a full custom 57 Bel Air with a fuel-injected small block for $7,500. Like I said, they don't have a price on it, but that definitely puts things into perspective when you build a full custom 57 Bel Air hardtop with a fuel-injected 350, a turbo 400, Buick Skylark wire wheels, and you got 7,500 in it. You can't buy a 57 Bel Air hardtop body to start with for that today. So anyway, there we have it. There's the pictures once again. There's that black Cutlass we were talking about. In the classified section entitled Hot Rod Mart from January of 1975. Great kitty. Yes, the auction boxes are in your way, aren't they? Yes, they're in your way, I know. Anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking, the Grease Lightning car. That's true. So that one was a lot of fun, guys. We will definitely squeeze in some more of these automobile trade journals, both the one from 1913 as well as the couple from the mid-30s that Glenn donated to us. But where do I find old magazines at? I mean, obviously you can buy any of them online, but that's kind of a pain in the butt buying one here and one there and having to ship them. I buy a lot of them at auctions. I've got several boxes of them. We went to an auction last November. I got several boxes of them. That's where this one came from. I've been collecting magazines. Of course, I've been messing with old cars my whole life, so I've been gathering them up for years. You know, I've got hundreds of them. That's what's so much fun to do this with. But it's a pain in the butt to buy them one or two at a time on the internet. So I always watch for auctions, swap meets, things like that. Sometimes you can pick up a box of them there too. So I hadn't thought about that, Alan, but that's another good point. The Johnny Carson comments, and now you guys know that we have a couch, and actually it is kind of from the 70s era. Flea market's another good place to look for them, John. A lot of times you can snag a handful of them at places like that instead of having to buy onesies and twosies and ship them and things like that. You know, buying onesies and twosies on the internet are great if there's a certain specific exact issue you're looking for, but just trying to find them and check out the cool stuff and buy out a box of them. Auctions, flea markets, swap meets, things like that. So now we need the desk. Yeah, that's true, Austin. Dirty never thought about it until he got here. Open my own museum. I don't know if we'll ever get to that. That's kind of what the new building was kind of built for, but it's already full of everything. So thanks, Kenny. More kind words. I appreciate that. And with that, estate sales, that's another good one, John. If somebody's cleaning out somebody's house and they've got a box of them, that's another good place to keep your eyes peeled for that type of stuff. But what's coming up, like I promised you guys, I'll try to get it ready for tomorrow night. I've got it up. I got to get a thumbnail built and a few other things done on the 1953 Ford Ranch Wagon, two-door wagon video. Definitely want to get that up for you guys tomorrow night. That car is so awesome. You're going to love it. I did some other videos this week. 51 Dodge two-door that Tractor Mike found for us. 55 Plymouth two-door hardtop. Just got that video shot. Like I said, tons of stuff coming in. The International that came in last week, all those Chevys. Those Chevys are kind of rough. We'll get some of those, I think, gathered up on the same video. But, man, a lot of stuff hitting the ground, a lot of stuff to share with you guys. Got to get some of that new inventory up. Still got a little bit more with Jim Wicks, some Fairlane stuff with Jim Wicks. I've got to get that video up as well. Some more from my buddy's yard. But, man, I've got a ton of new inventory here that I've got to get shot, including the magnificent van. We've got to do that van. There's some junk in the back I need to get cleaned out of it, an old lawnmower and some other junk. But we absolutely have got to get the van out and share it with you guys. It is so awesome that it's just magnificent. I don't know. I got no other word other than magnificent. Oh, yeah. You guys caught the video on that with that Cougar roof down at my buddy's place. That was crazy. Yeah, you were Ad King tonight, Big Job. Yeah, like I said, that, you know, when I shoot content in that area, like I said, that part of the country is definitely wetter than where I'm at in central Kansas. And, man, the roof on that Cougar was insanely rusty. I've showed you guys some pretty rusty stuff in there, but that roof was insanely rusty. So thanks for bringing that up, John. Wanted to point that out as well. If you guys missed that, be sure to check that out. Anyhow, we'll get some of this new info out of this new inventory up for you this week. We'll do some Toy Tuesday live Tuesday night and have some more fun with some more memorabilia. And then we all definitely hope to see you back here next Sunday night, once again at 7:30. The 7:30 time slot seems to be working. Of course, it's a holiday weekend, so worked out for everybody tonight. But the 7:30 time slot does seem to be working out pretty well. And so far, we've had good feedback. Hopefully, this is going to be our answer to a good balance for everybody. That being said, once again, thanks for swinging by, spending most of your Sunday evening with all of us nobodies. I appreciate your support and what you do to help make this happen. Thanks to all of you. This continues to grow, continues to be successful, hopefully leading up to the second annual gathering of the Nobodies coming up next spring. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see some of you Tuesday night, and we definitely hope to see you all right back here, same bat time, same bat station, next Sunday night at 7:30. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great week.